From falling apart after finally scoring a win, to bravely talking about his decision to quit the golfing world, here's Jason Day's emotional reveal after his victory. But first, let's find out why emotions were running high in the first place. Day broke a 5-year winless streak. The Australian golfer hadn't been doing so well out on the field. He was facing a PGA Tour title drought that lasted 5 whole years. But finally, the golfer got his moment of glory as he beat Scottie Scheffler in his bid to return to world number 1. It was a pretty intense Sunday game at the TPC Craig Ranch, and I'm sure Day was feeling the pressure of all the losses he'd faced in the past 5 years, but he ended up performing wonderfully despite it all, and secured a flawless victory at the AT&T Byron Nelson Championship in Texas. At the end of all the hardships, he proved that he's still got it, but he didn't just win. His final round was nothing short of perfect. He fired a stunning bogey-free final round, 9 under par 62, and managed to deliver a ruthless one-shot win over Siwoo Kim and American player Austin Eckroat. His wife, who's now pregnant with their 5th child, watched proudly from the sidelines. I guess you can say that the win was a Mother's Day gift for her too. Meanwhile, CT Pan was 4th at 21 under, while Scheffler finished 5th after being unable to keep up with Day, who was just on fire on match day. Now things got a little tense when Kim birdied the last, and briefly joined Day on top of the leaderboard, but it seems like all the Queenslander had on his mind that day was bringing home the win, because his response was just top tier. Still though, this hard-earned victory came after an even harder year for Jason. He lost his top 100 spot right after the loss of his mother, Denning, to cancer. Fans noticed things just hadn't been the same. Of course, a loss like that can break anyone, but for a professional golfer who's also spending all his time in the limelight, it seemed like it was all too much to bear. Rumors were swirling that the star's golfing years were well behind him. But this Mother's Day, he came with a whole lot to prove, and the heartbreaking reason behind this was his first Mother's Day without his mom. It just so happened that this final match fell on the same day. Instead of downplaying the timing of the match, Jason decided to honor his mom in a heartfelt tribute. If you take a close look at his caddy bib, it has his mom's birth name on it, Adenil. Eagle-eyed fans spotted this sweet detail and immediately pieced together the fact that that day was very important for the player. He even revealed later that it felt special to have her on his caddy bib. The former world number 1 honored her memory and brought her with him to the field in the most unique way. But the best bit was winning the tournament. This marks Jason's first win since the 2018 Farmers Open. The timing couldn't have been more perfect, and I bet Adenil was very proud of her son for delivering such a spectacular performance. Now let's take a look at the player's highly emotional reveal. After he scored his win, the golf star was about to call it quits. This news might shock fans, but after a very tough 5 years, facing the loss of his mom and falling from grace in the golfing world, Jason Day had almost decided to throw in the towel. I'm sure he's grateful that he stayed resilient through it all, because after putting in consistency and hard work, he's finally managed to score a win. Plus, Jason even said that he'd never told his quitting plans to his wife, which makes it so much more heartbreaking because the athlete was going through everything alone. He said he'd made peace with his decision because golf had become a very stressful part of his life. Now, you might be wondering why he decided to keep it a secret from Ellie. Many have been quick to speculate that it's because she hasn't shown enough support, but Jason's honest conversation with the press shows that the truth is far removed from this rumor. He can't thank Ellie enough. The golf player revealed that through all the hardships he faced, there was one person who always had his back, his wife Ellie Day. In the emotional speech after his win, he revealed that even though he didn't tell his wife about his plans to quit, she's been the best support system for him through it all. Day said that she's made massive sacrifices not just for him, but for his career too, and that no amount of gratitude he felt for her could ever be enough. Plus, it seems like we can thank Ellie for keeping Jason on track and even setting him on the path to winning a title after years. Yep, Jason has made it clear that Ellie was the one who never gave up on him and kept trying to push him to claim his place in the winner's circle. She was constantly pushing him to do his best, and now the entire golfing world can thank her for this amazing moment. But besides thanking his wife, Jason also said he was very grateful to his caddy and lifelong friend Luke Reardon, his coach, and the rest of his team. But there's another person we can thank for keeping him on track. Someone who's been working with golfing legends for a very long time. Tiger Woods' swing coach, 35-year-old Day, admitted that his career might not have come full circle if it wasn't for Woods reaching out to him for help. When the legend was struggling with his chipping, he had decided to ask Jason to help him refine his technique, which then led to a meeting with Chris Como, Tiger's swing coach. When the Aussie discovered discovered that Como wasn't working with many players, he decided to seek out the swing guru, who then helped him rebuild his swing while keeping in mind his back problems. So we can also thank the coach for helping Jason achieve this stunning victory. Day was seriously considering retirement at that time, but after sending the SOS call to Como, the golfer was able to rebuild his confidence and make an epic return. So, as you can see, it seems like the universe itself conspired to deliver Day his 13th win. It's special for a whole bunch of reasons, which is why the athlete couldn't hold his composure for too long after the win and broke down in tears. Speaking to the press, the Australian athlete made the shocking reveal that he teared up a little on the field. But why? Well, Jason was thinking about his mother and all the things she went through, from her diagnosis in 2017 to her unfortunate passing last year. Knowing that, and then finding that he scored a massive victory on Mother's Day, led to him losing his composure out on the field. He explained that her battle with cancer was very hard to see, and then he also had injuries to deal with on top of it all. He thought he would never play again. In September 2022, he had fallen all the way down to 175th in the world. The athlete had to rebuild his swing from scratch after a very serious back injury. That could have ended his once booming career. But the 2016 PGA Championship winner simply refused to call it quits, working harder than ever to bring his A-game. This year, Day managed to post 6 top 10 finishes as well as 8 consecutive top 20s. Sadly, a completely unforeseen bout of vertigo ruined his Masters chances, but now he has a trophy as well as a check for $1.7 million US. It's a fitting reward for someone who's finally ended their 1,835-day title drought. But if you're finding his sudden victory a little unbelievable, you aren't alone. The player can't believe he's back on top. Of course, the one question on everyone's mind after his win was, how does he feel about it? I mean, he's simply been through too much in the last few years, losing a loved one, dealing with an injury, and then not being able to do his best at the sport he loves, so claiming a win at the end of all that must have been surreal. Jason confirmed this by saying that it felt strange to be sitting in the winner's circle, but that he found it very pleasing to be able to climb back on top and finally being able to say he's a winner again.
I kept on visualizing myself in the winner's circle again, and
plus, the slow climb to the top hasn't been easy. The golfer revealed that a whole lot of hard work went into securing his victory, and that he was beyond overjoyed to see his hard work pay off. In the end, the golfer kept it short and simple, stating that it was nice to be able to get his 13th win. So, from bravely talking about his decision to quit the golfing world, to falling apart in tears after finally scoring a win, this was Jason Day's emotional reveal after his win.